we live? Is this working? Come on. Start up. Start up. See if this works. Gonna clean the desk. One way to find out. See if this works. Okay. All right. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be fixing a MacBook that's broken and trying to make it work again. If we make it work again, well, it'll turn on, its fan will spin, and above all, I'll get to make a little bit of money. Nothing wrong with making a little bit of money here and there, making a MacBook work again like we used to in the good old days. Okay. So who's here? Who's here? So let's take a look. We're going to open up this MacBook and see what's wrong with it. So I want to, by the way, thank you very much, Catherine. She got me this gift of my favorite keyboard of all time, a Microsoft wired keyboard 600. The Microsoft 600 is the best keyboard of all time. I will smoke 99% of the population in type racer using that thing. So, what do we have here? We have here an 820-00165 board, and the customer says that it's not turning on. So, what do we do here? Louis racked up a big bar tab last night and has to pay it off. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm actually happy that my employees think through this the same way. What they do is they spend $15 at the liquor store, drink a bunch, and then if they go to a nightclub, what they do is they're already like semi-drunk by the time they get there, so that they only have to buy one drink at the overpriced bar that's at the club. And same is true for me. There's no way in hell I am ever going to a nightclub and actually paying those rates for liquor. That's insane. No, what you do is you hang out with your friends a little bit beforehand, drink a little bit, and then you go. Never, never, never pay the prices at clubs for alcohol. Anyway, back to this. Just back to this. So, let's see what happens. We're going to plug this thing in. I get the power supply on the screen, and as you can see, we are getting a light on the charger, which means PP3V4-2_G3 hot is likely present. There we go. Orange light on the charger, but it's taking 33 milliamps and not turning on. So let's just open up the schematic in the board view and kind of go through here and see what's going on with it. All right. And also, I'm kind of curious if any of you can see what's wrong with it, because I just saw it. Yeah, I just found it. So I'm kind of curious if any of you are able to see that. If I were to zoom in a little bit more on this board here, what do you all see? Well, we'll find out. We'll find out what you all see. So, all right, let's go over to the schematic in the board view. Now, I've gone over the one-wire circuit about 1,000,000 times. Long story short, if it's not powering on, it's going to be a power rail that's missing. And when it comes to a missing power rail, we got to figure out which one it is. The first power rail that has to show up is PP3V4-2_G3 hot, because that's one of the lines that will get us a green light on the charger. So you have a bunch of different power rails in this particular machine. Let me just open up the schematic by itself. If I have that here, there we go. You have a bunch of different power lines in the machine, and they all have these weird names. Now, there's usually a prefix and a suffix. The prefix usually gives you an idea of the voltage or the name of it, and the suffix tells you when you should expect it to show up. So G3 hot is a state. S5 is a state. S4 is a state. S3 is a state. SO is a state. G3 hot are the rails that will always be on. A moment. G3 hot are the rails that will always be on. S5 are the rails that are on when the computer's off. S4 are the rails that are on when the computer's hibernating. S3 are the rails that are on when it's sleeping. SO are the rails that are on when the computer is actually on and running. So one instance, you may want to have the keyboard on when the computer's hibernating, because you're going to tap the space bar or a button on the keyboard in order to get the machine out of hibernate, right? But you won't want the RAM to be on. That's, when you do hibernate, it's going to suspend everything to the disk. When you are in sleep mode, you will want the memory to be on, because you're suspending to RAM. When you put the computer to sleep and it wakes up instantly and everything is just there, even back in the hard drive days, that was because you were suspending everything to memory. So the memory would be on in an S3 state. But let's say the CPU won't, because the CPU is only on when the computer's actually on. That's when you're in an SO state. That's when you're going to have things like the screen be on. That's when you're going to have things like the CPU and the GPU and so on and so forth be on. So there's actually an order to this. So you don't want to go through this list in the order that it shows up on screen, because this will actually confuse the crap out of you, because it's not, these power rails over here are not actually listed in the order that you would expect. What you want to do is you want to go through all the G3 hots first, then you go through all your S5s, then all your S4s, then all your S3s, then all your SOs. And of course, these are not actually put in order because Apple, I don't know, that's how they wrote the schematic. God forbid anything be simple. Think different. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each set of rails. Now, as I said, PP3V42, I know that's there. I don't have to look for that because I have a light in my charger. And PP3V42_G3 hot is going to be one of the rails that is necessary for me to get a green light. PP3V42_G3 hot powers the SMC. And the SMC has to be on to talk to the charger. The SMC has to be on to talk to the charger so that we can get a green light on it. So this is I already know that that's going to be present. And again, I'm not going to go through the one-wire circuit from the very beginning because I've done that on this channel about 30 or 50 times, and redoing the same video over and over again, it may surprise you, actually gets a little bit boring after a while. But the material is there, and I do have a one-wire circuit playlist if you're interested in going over that stuff again. So what we're going to do over here is we're going to go through the rest of the rails in the list and see what it is that's going on. So every other G3 hot rail. Now, one of the G3 hot rails I'm not going to bother to go through, again, PPDC and G3 hot. PPDC and G3 hot, that's the 18 volts from the charger. I know that's there because, as I said, PP3V42_G3 hot has to be there for me to get the green light. So since this rail needs to be present, for this to be present, I don't got to check this shit. So next up, what we're going to check is something like, I would check, let's say, PP_G3 hot. Let's see if this is here. So it says over here that I can measure this on a fuse. This here is fuse 7140. So this is where I can measure PP_G3 hot. If we zoom out over here, you can see that this is the page where we're talking about taking the power from the adapter, the 18 volts from the adapter, and we're going to turn it into 8.5 volts for the system over here. Now, let me show you something that a lot of people who are new to this are going to do, and here's how they're going to fuck themselves. I already know what's wrong with this because I already saw the thing that I hope if you've been paying attention regularly, and I'm sure Piernov actually saw it immediately on the screen, is going to be a dead giveaway as to what's wrong with this board. I am 110% confident that if Piernov looks at this for 5 seconds, he already knows what's wrong with this board because Piernov is a damn genius. Anyway, back to this. Let me show you exactly what everybody's going to do wrong when doing this. Ready? So here's what they're going to do. They're going to go, oh, look, F7140. On the fuse, I can measure PP_G3 hot and see if it's there. They look on the board. They see this is F7140 over here, right? So here's what they're going to do. Here's what they're going to do. And here's what you've probably done at some point yourself. Everybody who's done this for a living has made this mistake at some point in their life and then regretted it. They're going to do this. And go, oh, look, no problem. I'm good. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I guess I can move on to testing the rest of the rails now, right? Because PP_G3 hot's there, measured on the fuse. Which side of the fuse did you measure? Exactly. So watch this. Here's what you actually do. What you do is you measure the other side of the fuse. 0. 8.6. 0. 8.6. You see, orientation is very, very important. Orientation is very important. Always pay attention to the orientation. Simply because you click on F7140 and it shows you this. It's a fuse. Just because it's on pin 1 does not mean it's on pin 2. Now, what do you think happened here for F7140 to have 8.6 volts on one side and 0 volts on the other? Can anybody give us an idea? Anybody here who's able to tell us what is going on with this fuse? Let's see. Who's been paying attention all these years? Who's been paying attention all these years? All right. If you thought it was a short to ground, well, that's a great guess. Let's see. So obviously the fuse is blown. I don't need to measure that with the multimeter to tell, but we'll do it anyway just for the hell of it. Do this. Check fuse 7140. That fuse is indeed, okay. It's not blown, but it's not good either. 2.5 ohms is, a fuse should not be 2.5 ohms. Again, to be clear, I would expect it to be way more blown than that, but that's still not what I was expecting. And on this side of the fuse, you get 1.7 ohms to ground. So that's not good. You're not supposed, I shouldn't be getting 1.7 ohms to ground. Now, let's see if anybody can tell me why it is that this board has a blown fuse. By the way, I had a very interesting conversation with a customer once. Not going to say when and where or who because it'll make it obvious who they are. And they were saying, wait a second, if you're only replacing one component or two components, like why is it $200? So I said, if you find the component, I'll replace it for free. And she stared at it for like 5 minutes, and then I said, okay, how about this? I'll make it easier for you. It's somewhere between here. It's in here. And she still wasn't able to find it. And I said, if you find it within the next 10 minutes, I'll replace it for free. And she still couldn't find it. I had a little bit too much fun with that. I had more fun with that than I should have, admittedly. But part of it is that I'm an asshole. Let's see. Can anybody point it out? Catherine, how are you? By the way, thank you very much for that Microsoft 600 wired keyboard. This is way more than I deserve. This is very nice. I love it, and I'll be sure to do a game of Type Racer just as a thank you and a kudos to you at the end. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So let's see if anybody can point it out. Can anybody point it out? What happened? What happened to you all? You guys remember when you were able to actually answer questions? Bro, do I have slow-mo turned on or something? Can anybody see it? Shorted somewhere inside the board, probably. What do you mean, probably? Jesus Christ. Okay, here. More zoom. More zoom. Tell me you can't see that. Bro. Come on. Okay, here we go, Bidovin. Here we go. Here we go. Yes. Yes. There we... Look, what is this? What is this? Come on. Dude, you gotta be able to see that, man. We have and this is one of the things that I'm trying to do with Repair.wiki. I'm trying to, like, take all the instances of stuff like this and then make it easy for you to see for yourself when there is an issue with visual inspection. I'm going to add this one, by the way. It's clear that this needs to be added because none of you could fucking see it. So, you know, I'm trying to get people to be able to see. This is what shorting due to corrosion looks like. This is what green liquid under a BGA looks like. This is what a damaged probe point looks like. This is what a resistor that's not soldered on but may look like it's soldered on looks like. All of this stuff is you need to be at the point, once you actually open a business doing this, that you open the board out of the case. And before you even do this or squint, you see that instantly. Because the hints are going to save you a lot of time. And being able to see that instantly is going to make you a lot more efficient in your work. Now, granted, again, you have a microscope and all that stuff. But still, these should be tools that these tools are going to make life easier for you. But at the end of the day, this should just be a luxury. In many ways, this should be kind of like a little bit of an added luxury. I want you to have the ability to see stuff like that immediately. So please do keep these things in mind and, just kind of try and inculcate it into your mindset as we move forward with this. So I'm going to take the board out of the case. We're going to examine it, see if there was any liquid or anything there that made this happen, or if it was just random, MacBook being a MacBook and deciding to have something die for no reason because, again, MacBook. So I'm going to grab myself my T5 screwdriver, which used to be right here once upon a time. Used to be right here once upon a time. Here we go. And okay. How's everybody? Hello, Jamie. How are you? We have to have a conversation with Steve, you and I, later this week. Steve has been talking a lot about trying to branch off into doing something else because of the eventual death of this as an industry, given that the manufacturer has been, going out of their way for years to destroy our ability to get access to parts, chips, anything. And he wanted to go to real estate. I'm trying to scare him out of that because I think that doing real estate would be a nightmare. But maybe I'm wrong. It's possible that I'm wrong. Or maybe he's right. Maybe we should, maybe Rossmann Realty should be a thing. Maybe Steve should get his broker's license or something and we wind up, one of the things he said is that we would be honest about spaces. And since we'd be honest about the spaces, we'd be able to do better than everybody else. But does it really matter? Again, if a space is 19,000 square feet, if a space is $19,000 for 1,800 square feet, it's still, it doesn't matter if you're honest. That's still a shit sale, I still don't see I still don't understand how that's going to make it any better. Because instead of you getting somebody in the door who's then disappointed that you lied about the size of the space, you're just not going to get someone in the door at all because it's such a ripoff. Alan is in another country at the moment, seditionalist. Catherine, I am going to win against some other people. You will see. And I appreciate what you did. Thank you very much. That's more than I earned and it's more than I deserved. I owe you dinner if you ever make it to the States. I think we were all hungover, Louis. We are not recovered yet. We thought it was going to be an easy day and no tests. You got to pay attention. The other thing about hangovers, by the way, eat a steak before you go out drinking, and drink a lot of water throughout the evening, and above all, do a speed walk. Honestly, you will have no hangover the next day. I am filled with energy right now. I am filled with energy. I have no headache besides the general headache of knowing the state that I'm currently occupying. Really, I'm good. Okay. So, somebody put the wrong screw in the wrong hole for the fan. Damn it, that's so inconsiderate. Don't put the wrong screw in the wrong hole. That's not very nice. You don't put the long screw in the fan hole. Don't put the long screw in the fan hole. Okay, that's my cat auto feeder that Patrick didn't fill up because he wants the cat to starve to death. Patrick's been going out of his way to try and starve Mr. Clinton to death. It's not very nice of him. I don't know what Mr. Clinton ever did to Patrick. Okay, so let's do this in the microscope. Mm-hmm. Hello, Travis. How are you? Streamlabs isn't showing up on your screen, and Super Chats aren't working for all of us. What? What happened? What did I do? Ah, shit. Did I break something? One moment. Let me see if I broke something. Did I break something? I probably broke something. Mm-hmm. Be right back. Dun 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 dun. It says no super chats on this one. Huh. Okay, I go tip history. Oh, I don't see anything for either. I don't see any for either for some reason. Yeah, I don't see any super chat and I don't see any Streamlab. Actually, wait. Damn it, there was a Copass. Huh. Let's see. Did I break something? Let's see. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Okay, one moment. Boo. Oh, crap. Damn you, OBS. Shit, stop ringing phone. Now's a bad time. Let's see. What the holy shit. Browser source stopped working in my OBS. How the Okay, this is fun. Well, this is not going to be an easy one. I got to recompile OBS. OBS Studio. Well, this is going to be a while. One moment. I have to read on how to compile this shit or something. Blah. Boo. Hey. No, it's not that. I don't know what the hell. I don't know if I updated OBS, something broke. Let's see. One moment. One moment. It's probably going to be like 10 or 15 minutes. I'll be back. Let's see. Building. Be back in a few. Then I gotta add the scenes, everything. is an 820-00165 board. Now, this is my fault. I had to reinstall my OS recently, and I did not reinstall my stuff properly. I forgot that the OBS Studio you get with Ubuntu, if you just apt-get install OBS, it's missing browser source. Be right back. Fixing stuff. Clinton, shush. I know, Clinton. I'm sorry. What was the reason for the reinstall? I broke something. Clinton, stop that. What? Son of a whore. Let's see. One moment. Linux being Linux. Linux being Linux. Missing CEF library. All right, we're going to figure this out. What is CEF library? Come on. Did you clip Paul Daniels' new sound? Nope. Where is this CEF library nonsense? There. Chromium embedded framework. Huh? Oh, Jesus Christ. What a mess. Okay. I forgot how much fun it is to install dependencies. I forgot how much fun Linux is for a moment. Jesus Christ. CMake 3.19 or higher is required. You're running... Oh, for fuck's sake, bro. Okay, fuck this. I give up. Fuck Linux. Fucking Linux. Holy shit, this is so annoyingly frustrating. I forgot how annoying. I forgot why I went back to Windows for 5 years. Install the browser via apt. What browser? What are you talking? I need to compile this. I need CEF library. How do I get CEF library? I tried to install CEF library, but to do that I need a newer version of Make, and it's like that's going down a rabbit hole that's a little too deep for this. That's actually way too deep a rabbit hole. You want to figure out when you're done with the rabbit hole. Which browser am I looking to install, Catherine? Which browser? Follow the website's instructions. Okay, you're useless. You're literally getting timed out for being that useless. Next. Okay. Oh, 1 second. I'm gonna own this thing. I'm gonna kick your ass. Let's see. Come on. Oh, here we go. If you use there's some different build script that automatically finds and installs the dependency of CEF. Yes! This is so weird. I'm actually smiling. I feel victorious even though I just wasted 10 minutes of my life. I don't know what it is about Linux. It robs you of your life, and then when you get a little bit of it back, you feel happy. Like it's been 20 years since I used Linux, and that's never changed. Like my life gets robbed over things that just worked in Windows, and then when I figure it out and it works, I'm happy. But rationally, I should be unhappy because I wasted 10 minutes of my life. Oh man, gotta love it. This is funny. One moment, we're compiling, baby. Compiling. Let's do it. Okay, did I actually build it? Let's see. Almost done with this step here. It really is DXOS3. It's such a fucking waste of time. No hangover, Christian. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now we're doing this other thing where people ask the same question over and over again. Fuck my life. It's almost worse than using Linux. Come on. OBS Studio with browser source as a plugin. This is Ubuntu Goku. Let's see. Okay, so I ran all of that stuff. What's next? Huh. I did this part already. Now I guess I have to figure out where you put it. No. Where did you put build? Where did you put build? Is this the part that... Does this make a deb file? Or does this actually compile something? Or does this... Like, what does that part do? I don't actually know what that does. To do a fully automated build, open terminal, switch to the checkout directory, and run all this. So this is all run. But where is the fully automated build? Where do you put the fully automated build? Are you in... You're not in libobs? No. Are you in the... You're not in the build directory? No. I would expect you to be in the build directory. My build directory. Maybe it's here? No. Okay, my build directory. My build directory is where it is. So now when you go to my build directory, what do you got in there? Make? I guess I make. I thought I already built. Huh. That's weird. No target specified and no make file found. Okay, so what the fuck did that actually do? Huh. That's really weird. So it says over here, to do a fully automated build, open terminal, switch to checker directly, and do one of the following commands. And if I did that with my build directory, then what do you do inside the build directory? There's nothing to be made. There's no deb. What? Son of a... This is actually torture. Wow. Let's see. It's not in this directory, no. Run one of the commands. None of them, though. Yeah, I already did the bash script. Unfortunately, Peter Puskar. Oh, this is so stupid. I don't know what a Lois is, Martin. Let's see. Everybody solders better than I do, man. Why don't you just use the installer? Because it doesn't have browser source. Actually, I should just use Snap. I feel like I'm lazy for using Snap. I'll just use Snap. Fuck this. Let's see if Snap's OBS includes what I'm looking for. This feels so lazy, though. This feels so lazy. I feel like a degenerate. A degenerate scum. Hope the Snap version has OBS, has a browser source. All right, let's